What's up, Business Freedom Podcast listeners? I am fresh off a week-long trip, annual honeymoon, as I mentioned in the last podcast, and I want to dive deep into. I learned some things getting away for a week and letting go of some really amazing habits that I had built up in the 6 months prior to this annual honeymoon. So we went to Aruba, stayed at the Ritz-Carlton on the club level, which if you've ever been to a Ritz on the club level, it is all you can eat and drink all day long and the best of the best. And on top of that, Aruba just has amazing restaurants. And so we ate and drank, and I had been super clean April 15th, 2019 through October 12th, 2019. I had picked this date. So this was premeditated. It wasn't a falling off the wagon. It was a premeditated act of debauchery. And when I say debauchery, I probably had 20 drinks in 7 days at an drink all you want type place. And I learned some things. So I want to go through those things, and there's parallels in businesses, I promise you. This is going to be the week in terms of the podcast of things I've learned in my personal life and how those translate into my business. Is number one is that consistency always wins. And what I mean by that, so April 15th, 2019, I started, I really decided that, and it sort of goes into the next podcast that we're gonna run here. It's called Rise to the Level of Your System. So please listen to that one when it launches. Should be tomorrow. If you're listening to this, if you're listening to it the day it comes out, this will be the next podcast. It's called Rise to the Level of Your Systems. But in terms of consistency wins, I made a commitment on April 15, 2019, that I was just going to be healthy. And I wasn't going to do a grand gesture of, I'm going to run a marathon. I did that in 2015. I trained for a marathon. I lost all this weight because I was training for marathon. Then I did the marathon, and I went back up to 220, 224.2 is what I weighed in at April 15th. And so I just decided that this was it. Like, I'm 46 years old. I guess at the time I was 45 years old in April. And I'm just going to figure out what's sustainable in my health. I've done this sort of yo-yo thing where I push hard to have a challenge, or like a 90-day or 60-day challenge. I never really made the commitment to be healthy, to become an athlete, to become a runner, to become a super fit and healthy, getting sleep and really taking care of my physical body. You can see my t-shirt today says training the temple. And so I've really just made this switch over. So in terms of consistency, the reason I bring it up in the context of being away for 7 days, I was okay. And I didn't really go off the rails for breakfast or lunch. Dinner was not great. I had drinks at the pool. I had drinks at night. We did a couple booze cruises, like really out of character. 6 months I went without a single drink, with no sugar, and eating on point. No pasta, no bread for 6 months. So I went from 224.2 to 192. My lowest was 190. I weighed 192 the Saturday morning before I left. I weighed in at 5 pounds heavier the Sunday morning. So this was yesterday. And then I knew with the air travel, I didn't have a great hydration day, that I would weigh in again this morning, and I was 194 this morning. So net, I gained 2 pounds. And the lesson for me is that consistency wins. Your body can bounce back and handle a week. I'm not talking a cheat day. I'm talking a cheat week. My body was able to, I probably gained 1.5, 2 pounds of actual fat. I'm going to push hard this week to get things back in order and see how quickly things bounce back. In business, I see this a lot too, where it's this a grand gesture of, I'm going to do this. I'm going to focus on lead generation. I'm going to do it for a week, versus just committing to being a lead generator, whether it's your sphere or lower quality leads for your team, or when I say lower quality, I mean like home search leads, or your sphere, or you're recruiting agents to your team. You're still lead generating every day. And have you really submitted to the consistency of that and the power of that consistency? A lot of times, if you have a bad day or a bad week, but you've had an awesome 6 months, of lead generating. You can get back on it. You can just decide, okay, time to get back at it. I am a lead generator. I am a finder of talent. I am whatever this thing you need to do, whatever that focus area is for me. So that's number one, or for you. That's number one. Consistency always wins. Number two is just to get back on track. A lot of times, and this is true, it's been true of me in this area of my health, is that I'll slip. And I'll let a week of slipping be the reason that, as I'm recording this, it is the end of October. And so I could easily say, well, we're going to Gatlinburg for Thanksgiving, and then we're going to go to Kentucky and, for before Christmas. And then we're going to spend Christmas to New Year's at a nice place. And let's just start it in the new year. Let's just do that. Let's not focus on it right now. That's not what I did. I was on point yesterday, so the day after I got back, and now this week, I'm going to be on point. I read a book called Eat to Live by Joel Furman is his name. It's a revised and updated edition. There's a cookbook associated with it, and I've learned, and I've known forever and ever, plant-based whole food is the way to the highest levels of health. And so this sounds a little bit like I'm violating my first rule of no grand gestures. The next 30 days, I'm going all plant-based whole foods. And I want to see what my body can do, just putting really great whole grains, fruits, vegetables into my body. And so my commitment is just to get back on track. The only way to get back down under, 190, which is my goal for all of next year, is to stay under 190, is to get back at it. And not just, I've fallen off I'm off the rails. I fell off the wagon. Let's just give into it. Let's just wait 2 more months. That's what I've done typically. And I've gained all of the weight back. And then I'm like, oh crap, now I got to lose it again. And then I'm going to gain it all again and lose it all again. And so this is just an ultimate commitment to health and just getting back on track if you mess up. If you have a bad day in your business, just get back on track the next day and then finish the week strong. And then same thing, in every area of your life. If you have a bad day as a parent, just get back up. If you make a mistake or you overreact with your children, I do that sometimes, and I just apologize to my children and I get back at it. And I show up in every area of my life with that persistency. I guess that's the second one here. It's get back on track. Persistency wins. So consistency wins, persistency wins, just getting back at it and never getting away from the things that we know are going to make us healthy in our life. And then the third thing I learned is that health just feels better. Health just feels better. And that goes for my personal life. And this week of debauchery is that I felt sluggish in the morning. I would have a couple drinks. I love lemon drop martinis. So it's not the manliest drink. I totally get it. And I really enjoy it with the sugar rim and all. It's basically just lemon juice, I think a little bit of the sugary mix, and then a sugar rim and vodka. And it's good. And it makes me feel like chill, and I enjoy it. It's the thing I missed most in the 6 months that I didn't drink, from April 15th to October 12th. And you just don't feel great the next morning, especially having gone 6 months of being totally clean in my body and shedding over 32 pounds I shed in that 6-month period. And I was clean. And then coming in and doing that. Another thing we did in the club at the Ritz, they had this bottomless pit of Dove milk chocolates that were so good. They were so good. And I would we'd go from dinner, we'd go to the club to grab dessert, and I'd grab a glass of Prosecco, and I would grab like 10 of these little Dove chocolates, and I'd eat every single one of them. And I did that probably for 4 of the 7 nights that I was there. And I would do it at lunch too. And so when I say that I went off the rails, I went off the rails, and my body didn't feel good. We managed to work out 5 times while we were there. So that's really good. Even though we were going to abuse our bodies, through our diet, we weren't willing to let the workouts go. So I did. I ran, I did a little bit of body work, ran 5 times, like 4 miles each time, roughly, just to kind of keep the heart, this blood that now had a bunch of crap in it, to keep it kind of circulating through my body. And so health feels better in your business or in any area of your life, being healthy financially, it just feels better. I got away from, I've been really good in my finances for ever since I can remember. When I first got my college job, I paid off my student loans really quickly. I started saving and investing and tracking. And, in the last 2 or 3 years, I got a little bit away from that. I got away from tracking my net worth on a regular basis. And I really got back to it. And it makes me feel better knowing on a monthly basis exactly what my net worth is. It is not the only measure of success, right? It really is one measure of success because we're trading time for money and we want to have something to show for that. We want our net worth to grow over time, and we can't have a thing grow if we don't track it. And same thing in my relationship with my wife. Having a healthy marriage feels better than not having one. We started implementing this thing on date night. It's a set of questions that we ask ourselves. What was your high for the week, your low for the week? What are you struggling with right now that I can help? How can I love you better this coming week? What's one thing you're excited about for the future? That is a practice that we put into place that will make our marriage healthier, and it'll allow me to serve Julie at a higher level and for her to serve me at a higher level in our actual needs, not guessing, what's good there. So health just feels better. And same thing in your business, right? When you're not doing the things you need to do to have a healthy business, and you're not holding your agents accountable to doing the things that they need to have a healthy business, which impacts your ability to have a healthy business, and you put your head in the sand in all of it and just hope that it gets better, it's not going to just get better. So where are you struggling right now? The one thing about Real Estate B School, we teach all of it, right? We teach the entire journey to marketing, sales, operations, how to recruit, how to lead and manage folks, how to track and run your financial world. And that's just what we do in real estate. Holistically, we care about you as a human being. Where are you in your marriage? Where are you as a parent? Where are you in your body physically, spiritually, emotionally? These things matter to us. I've only got one shot physically here on this earth, and I'm going to do my darndest to love and serve others at the highest level. So if you're struggling in your business and it has these ramifications in areas outside of your business, you've got to reach out to us. The only thing I can offer you is a 45-minute conversation about where you are today, where you want to go, and what's holding you back, not only in your business, but in every area of your life. So go to realestatebschool.com, click on the orange banner, quick application that you'll fill out. Really, we serve small teams and large teams and medium teams. Minimum 500,000 GCI in terms of where you are. In some instances, if you've got admin leverage or you've got showing agents or buyer agents, we'll do something a little less than 500. That's generally the starting point, all the way up to 5 million GCI. We've got members coming in that have challenges with their businesses that are much larger than some of our members. We generally teach business, Real Estate B School, business school. So it's what we do. And we do it really, really well. If that's you, go to realestatebschool.com and we'll see you on the strategy session.